today to be installing the EncoderBoss on an Eclipse EQ20 machine. This machine has a robot, a Grace quilt motion attached, and so we're going to start by putting the EncoderBoss on the side of the carriage. This is our twist bracket. It mounts to your wheel. Take your wheel off your machine, and the bracket goes through first and then the wheel, and then on this twist bracket is mounted the encoder. It has some zip cable tie downs. Zip your cable down with the zip ties through the holes in the twist bracket. And then clip those off so they don't get in the way. Bolting this little bracket to the hole that's in the front of the carriage, as you can see here in the video. And then you do the same on the back of the carriage with this little bracket through the first hole. The different holes are given for other carriages on other frames. No two frames are exactly the same, and so we've designed this to be adaptable. If you have a robot on it, the little bracket has to go underneath the robot power center. So as you can see, the grosgrain ribbon goes through the hole that's on the end of the bracket. You zip tie it on, just as simple as that. This is just very easy. It's threaded through the encoder. As you can see, there's a slot in the encoder, and you just simply thread the ribbon through the slot, and it just glides along the ribbon with no moving parts. So if we have to adjust these brackets, we're able to raise them. They pivot on this little screw, and we can lower them. We need to get it so that this red ribbon is parallel with the slot here. Just an eyeball setting of that is fine. Okay. Then after it's positioned, we tighten the screw that keeps this from pivoting. We also give you a little piece of 3M double stick tape that you put right in here, and that'll prevent that bracket from ever pivoting. We've got it in the right position now, so we lock the screw down as tight as we can, and then to make sure it never pivots again, we have some double stick tape which we slide in between the bracket and the frame, and now it is permanently on there, very rigid. Okay, that'll make it so it won't pivot on you anymore. So now we have half of our encoder installed. All right, now we move to our Y, that's our Y encoder. We move to our X encoder, and on this frame we've chosen to put it in the front. We double stick tape it to the front of our carriage. Okay, we chose the front because the back of this machine with a robot is full of lots of cabling. So we want to be away from the cabling, and this ribbon works just fine in front. So it's out of the way and underneath the quilt that you're working on. So to place it, you bring the machine over to the side. You place your ribbon bracket on the side of the machine. Just hold it in place and you eyeball it and get the ribbon lined up with the slot. Close enough is good enough. Close enough is good for hand grenades, horseshoes, and these encoders. Okay, so once you've got it lined up right here, you measure this distance and you take it over to the other side with your measured distance, and you stick the other bracket on, and you'll notice that it comes with the double stick tape. This is real powerful tape. So once we get that cover off, we'll get that positioned, and in a day or two these will be almost permanently attached. So we've marked our space on the arm where it needs to be based on the other arm where we lined it up with the machine. Okay, now we have stuck the bracket on. This is going to become almost permanent tomorrow after that 3M tape cures. We've threaded the ribbon through the hole. We've tried to make sure that it doesn't twist along its length, but if it did twist, it would be okay because our patented encoder untwists the ribbon. Let's see, let me hold that for you. And then he's going to tie that ribbon on. Very good. Now this doesn't have to be terribly tight. It can twist, like we said. It's very forgiving. So at this point we want to cut off our extra zip tie. And if you don't like this hanging down, you can cut this off too. So we have attached the bracket with the double stick 3M permanent tape, and now you can see down the line the ribbon is there. It's very forgiving. It's okay if stuff touches the ribbon. It doesn't hurt anything. You can still run the machine with stuff on the ribbon. It's that forgiving. Then you dress your cables so that the cables stay neat. The bottom cable that goes to the X encoder has to stay movable. So you watch how it moves when the machine moves. The Y cable can be tied up. So it's working. We're all done. Let's try it. I've unthreaded the machine, so it's not going to be stitching, but we're going to move it around and see how it does. So we start it. So there it is. That's the new EncoderBoss. And so now it's time to take off the old encoders. They're no longer needed. So we will take those encoders off, and then the machine will be totally run off the optical EncoderBoss. This is the old. This is the new. Contact Eclipse Quilting for more information. www.eclipsequilting.com or 801-631-6765. Thank you for watching.